Good morning, students. I welcome you for the next sessions. I hope you revise the yesterday's videos. Most of you are watching the yesterday's videos. Very good. The today's heading is Principles of Scientific Management. Yesterday we studied about the meaning of management, concept of management, then various definitions of management according to Peter Drucker and Fayol. Then management is an art or science. Then difference between administration and management and process of management. So today we are going to see three details, three 5 mark questions. First one, principles of scientific management, then principles of modern management and span of management. So first one, principles of scientific management. So this definition was given by Mr. Frederick Winslow Taylor, brought about a scientific approach to managing the workforce after his experiments. His aim was absolute harmony in workplace for overall productivity of the organization. First one, science not rule of thumb. Rule of thumb means decision taken by manager as per their personal judgment. So decision should be based on scientific inquiry with cause and effect relationship. So this principle is concerned with selecting the best way of performing a job through application of scientific analysis. So we can do all the activities with the help of scientific analysis, not for our own decisions. That is science, not rule of thumb. Second one, harmony, not discord. There should be a complete harmony between the workers and the management. Both the management and the workers should realize the importance of each other. So without workers or without management, nothing will be successful. So in an organization, management and workers are very important. So for example, Japanese companies usually workers don't go on strike, but it all they do so, they just wear a black badge and work even more than the normal hours just to impress upon the managements. So they don't want to quarrel with the management. They want to show their disopinion or other things in the way of doing extra work and showing black badge. And the management that they focus is on their demand as well as organizational objectives. That is harmony, not discord. And third one, mental revolution. Management as well as the workers should aim to increase the profit of the organization. Both their main aim to earn to more profit. So worker put in their best effort. Workers should put in their best effort, and also management should share the part of the profit to the workers. That is mental revolution. Then cooperation, not individualism. Workers should be considered as a part of management and should be allowed to take part in decision making process of the management. So workers should be treated as integral part of organization. So cooperation is very individual. If anything we will do, we can do with the cooperation of others, not individuality. The development of each and every person to his or her greater efficiency and prosperity. Efficiency of organization also depends upon the skills and capabilities of its employees to a great extent. So to attain the efficiency, steps to be taken right from the selection of employees. So efficient employees produce more to earn profit. So this ultimately help to attain the efficiency, prosperity for both organization and the employees. The next one, principles of modern management. So this definition is given by Mr. Henry Fayol. That is why we call this father of modern management. According to him, there are 14 major principles for every manager has to practice for the success of organization. First one, divisions of work. The total work is divided into small unit. It helps to specialization and efficiency of labor. Then authority and responsibility. Authority means the right of a superior to give order to his subordinate. Responsibility means obligations for performance. Then discipline. It is obedience, respect of authority, etc. It is essential for the smooth functioning of all organization. Then unity of command. Every subordinate or each subordinate should receive order from only one boss or only one superior. That is unity of command. Unity of direction, this is also same to the unity of command. There should be only one plan of action for them. They should be under the control of one manager. Then subordination, the management, subordination of individual interest to mutual interest. The management must put aside personal consideration and put company objectively first. Then remuneration, the workers must be paid sufficiently as their chief motivation. So remuneration should be fair and reasonable. Then the degree of centralization. Centralization implies the concentration of decision making authority at the top management. It depends on the company size. So based on the company size, the centralizations may be decide. Then line of authority. The principle suggests there should be a clear line of authority from the top level to the lower level. So top to bottom, the line of authority should be decided very clearly. That is called line of authority or scalar chain. Then order, people and material must be in suitable places at appropriate time for maximum efficiency. So people and material must be suitable. For example, the order should be received quickly with the suitable places at appropriate time. Then equity, employees must be treated kindly and justice must be enacted to ensure just workplace. So equal attention towards all employees. All the employees will be treated equally. Then stability of tenure of personnel. An organization to run smoothly, personnel must not frequently enter and exit the organization. So the stability of tenure of personnel, the managerial personnel frequently, if the employees are enter frequently and exit frequently, mean we cannot succeed anything. So the frequently exit and entry should be prohibited to more profits. Then initiative. Initiative means on the part of employees is a source of strength for organization because it provides new and better ideas. If the workers are voluntarily or the subordinates are voluntarily doing something, means they they will to execute new plans and new ideas and better ideas. The last one, esprit de corps and team spirit. So team spirit helps develop an atmosphere of mutual trust and understanding. If the subordinate are working under one team, means in the team they have some mutual understanding and ideas and cooperations. So the need of manager to ensure and develop morale in the workplace. So individuality and communally, team spirit help to finish the task on time. So their work is divided into the work is divided. So they are doing everything in the cooperation of others. So they can finish on time. So these are the 14 principles of modern management. So in this lesson, two principles of management are given. So noted clearly. First one, principles of scientific management. That principles of scientific management propounded by Taylor. Mr. Frederick Winslow Taylor. So we call it as F.W. Taylor. That is called Principles of Scientific Management or Principles of Management. The next one, Principles of Modern Management. This definition was given by Henry Fayol. Modern management was given by Principles of Modern Management was given by Henry Fayol. So most of you are confusing with the two definitions. So don't confuse it. First one, Principles of Scientific Management. That definition was given by Taylor. Here, Principles of Modern Management given by Mr. Henry Fayol. So according to him, 14 points. First one, division of work, authority and responsibility, discipline, unity of command, unity of direction, subordination, remuneration, degree of centralization, line of authority, order, equity, stability of tenure personnel, initiative, and the last one, esprit or team spirit. Then, span of management. Span means scope. The span of management refer to the number of subordinates who can be managed efficiently by a superior. The span, the manager having the group of subordinates who report him directly is called the span of management. So the span of management has two implications. First one, influences the complexities. Then second one, determine the shape of the organization or configuration of the organization. Though the span of management is related to the horizontal level of organization. Then there is a wide and narrow span of management. Wide and narrow, horizontal, wide and narrow. With a wider span, there will be less hierarchical levels, and thus the organizational structure would be flatter. Whereas the narrow span, the hierarchical level increases, hence the organizational structure would be tall. So the span of management is divided into two types, wide span and narrow span. Wide span is called flat structure and narrow span is called tall structure. This is the diagram of wide span and narrow span. Then tall organizational structure imposes more challenges. Since the span is narrow, which means less number of subordinate under one superior, so require more managers to be employed in the organization. With more levels, the hierarchy, the communication suffer drastically. So lack of coordination and control because of the operating staff is far away from the top management. From the top management, the workers are far away, so we cannot control easily. The communication and everything will be lack. Then benefit of using wider span. Wider span is that a number of managers gets reduced in their hierarchy and thus the expense in terms of remuneration is saved. The subordination feel relaxed and develop their independent spirit in a free work environment where the strict supervision is absent. Oh, that's all, children. So in case of latter organizational structure, the span is wide, little more complex. It will be very difficult for a superior to manage a large number of subordinates at a time and also may not listen to all efficiently. So the benefit of using the wider span of management is that a number of managers get reduced in the hierarchy. Oh, that's all, children. So first lesson, principles of management, gets over. Revise the lessons regularly. Take your classwork note. and write all the 2 mark, 3 mark, 1 mark in your class, 5 mark in your classwork notebooks. Then only you'll revise easily. If you'll decide to learn from your mobile means you'll feel difficult. So sit and write in your classwork notebook all the 2 mark, 3 mark and 5 mark and 1 mark questions. From the note you can revise. It will help you for the future time also. Thank you, children. Watch the videos and give response to me. Then only I know whether you are watching the videos or not. Daily I'll put attendance. Based on your response, I'll put attendance. So keep it in your mind. Attendance mark is very essential for you. Thank you, children. I'll see you soon with my next video.